every single time. So that lines up. Hey, Freddie Patzer, Heminesco, Fozo, Boop Lord, Bastoon. You're back to being a pleb, eh? It's a tough life there, Bastoon. Oof. Back to the grind. You're just going to have to make yourself look interesting again. Good morning to NA and good afternoon to EU. Hey, I was almost going to put it in the chest bra mug. It would have been twinsies, She Madrid. But in the dishwasher. Oh, look at that. The streak is back alive. You're on the first cup, Bam? Cheers. Cheers to all my first cup of coffee bras. Happy Friday, regardless of what time it is. This spells the end of the week. For those that don't know, we have in about 2.5 hours, we're going to be hosting puzzles once again with Buddy Pranav. And this is going to be the finals of the puzzle championship. So it all comes down to this. Go, Buddy, indeed. Could it be? Oh, it was taken F7, I guess. A nice sweaty start. Some puzzles. Ay, ay, ay. Too much. Too much. A slow start. Very slow. Hello, Tim. Up at the crack of dawn, I see. Hopefully, you're going to make it, Tim. I don't know what your schedule is, but, you know, there's no excuses missing Buddy Pranav's big final run. Yeah, 43 in 3 minutes. For context, Buddy Pranav has done 38 in 1 minute. Off work the next 2 days. Love to hear that, Brazilian monk. That's what the weekend is for. Morning coffee and some good green. I can tell you I've never personally made that pairing. Yep. Young Anthony Wally, definitely. I'll be following both keenly, but obviously we only have one of them, on stream with Cam and everything. So in terms of the stream and what we have here, we'll be mainly following Buddy, but he's not going to be playing all the time. So there's going to be some downtime, probably some time to watch some other matches potentially, depending how each of them do. So anytime that he's not playing, I'll definitely be spectating Mr. Anthony. Hey, Brian. Brian is the puzzle championship, putting you in a puzzle mood. I know you're pretty into them. I feel like, I don't know, sometimes if I'm watching the 30-second championship or the 1-minute championship or the SCC, I suddenly feel more of an itch to like play that time control myself. I don't know if that's the case for anyone here, but I know you like not just doing puzzles, Brian, but composing them. So I was thinking, dang, maybe you got the itch. What is this puzzle, by the way? What? I actually don't really know what it is. I guess it's rook there and queen g4. Hmm. There must have been some mate somewhere, or I guess there was knight takes. What? Dude, these puzzles are not very satisfying to do. Not satisfying at all. It's actually impossible to answer that in Nerlin. There are many different times. Queen d2. It's annoying. Queen d2. I think one of the biggest skills. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Being able to predict the computer's moves, because you're not even predicting the best move at that point. You're predicting the most likely blunder or the most likely continuation. And we clearly did not do that there. I was pinned. Exact same pattern, no? At that point, I was honestly wondering why it mattered. What? What was that last one? Hey, Edwig. Yeah, wow, it's King G5. Jeez. Meeting in 10. It's Friday. Don't want to miss those meetings. All right. Well, at least we've reminded ourselves why we're watching someone else play the tournament. I don't even know what you just asked me, Emma Unchained. At what score does it become more effective to focus on other practices? Unfortunately, I don't know what you're saying. Wow. Floppy McDing Dong. Well, there's going to be some more YT coming soon. I would say probably starting next week. We definitely had a little hiatus. Are you optimistic, A Petkov? We have what? No. Fun. Okay, okay, never mind. Never mind. I was going to look at the bracket, but it's a secret. Good morning, Eddie. Good morning. Hello, Andy. How good is good enough? I mean, but there's no answer to that. I don't really know what that means. For some people, good enough is 1,000. Hitting 4 digits for the first time. They're not going to be a professional. Hitting 4 digits shows a little something about the game. Maybe you can beat your friends. For some people, 1,500 is enough. For some people, 2K. You're never going to hit 3K, so 2K. For some people, it has to be a title. So, I don't know. It's impossible to answer a question like that. It will return, Andy. I was just saying we had a bit of a YouTube hiatus. Just couldn't wrangle editors together. We had a dry editor season, so we have a lot of stuff waiting to come out. But I haven't forgot about that one. $7:45 a.m. Contractors started working on the apartment above you. I'm not trying to hear that. Okay, a nice little rapid game here. It's coming, Elf. A couple hours away. All I know is the first opponent for Buddy today should be a tough one, but a manageable one. Of all the possible pairings, I think it's fine. Yep, we're hosting the puzzles on our Kick channel today, so I'll be here until then. 1,500 is good enough for you, undercrackers. Yeah, I think if you're really working on chess and interested in it, it makes sense that 2K is a decent online goal. But I would say if you're even 12, 1,300, you can probably beat just about everyone in your circles, which is probably more than enough. Jake, I usually do those on Sundays, so you can, for the time being, I think you can count on that. Knight d5. I mean, I don't think we want to take that, so that leaves moving this. Bishop e3 seems a bit counterproductive. So I guess that leaves bishop g3. Because at this point, I don't really see the value in going all the way to h2. Probably rook e1. Rook e1 is always a very nice move. Hello, MM. R. Hudson. Thank you for 28. Cheers, R. Hudson. Thanks for the raid there. Supplement. Sorry, I'm a little tired here. Gotta get a proper shout out in there. 24 people. Welcome in, guys. I'm playing some Sleepy Rapid to start things off, and we are going to be following along this puzzle championship that chess.com is hosting a little bit later in a couple hours. Knight b6. I think it's time to move this bishop. I was thinking just bishop f1, but the bishop can really go anywhere. I like bishop d3 because it makes a threat. What can I say? I'm a sucker for a cheapo. Also, I think b4 and maybe b5 looks good. I also really like this move. It looks like all the pieces are not really in a position to deal with a rook on a5. I don't know. It just looks like a square that just kind of flies under the radar a little bit. Okay. So obviously this one is played to cover bishop takes g6. So he did spot our little tic-tac. Knight h4 very bluntly threatens the exact same thing again, but I don't know. It's quite the move, knight h4. Not sure I believe in that. It's a little, I don't know, it's a little forward. I wonder what he's up to. There is my rook a5 move, which I just kind of like. How crazy is knight h4? Black can play knight c7 or bishop d7 to me. Those are the two options. I don't think rook takes e6 just yet is the plan. If we go c4, there's knight b4. Oof, I don't know. Things almost look like something, but not quite. Yeah, knight h4, there's so many simple moves to just get out. Mainly maybe bishop d7, I would say, is the one. Although the knight's not terrible on that square. The annoying thing is I want to play c4 sometimes, but knight b4 always hits me where it hurts. But for some reason, I still look at this move and I'm like, that's kind of interesting. Let's just play this rook a5 move. I've been talking about it enough. It could be interesting. So maybe if a6, like some stuff to do there. I don't really know. Maybe I can follow up also with this. Knight c4. It's looking like a knight c4 moment here. There's also bishop b5 now, followed by c4 and d5. Very specific. Because I wouldn't say that's really what we want to do. Feels like my pieces are getting jumbled up there. But to me, it does win the e7 pawn. So it's something to think about. It just feels like one of those things that maybe the engine would like whip out. Like, oh yeah, you just blundered your e-pawn. But I'm thinking about all the ways that maybe that doesn't work. I don't know. It kind of looks good. Bishop here. Rook's got to go somewhere. c4. Knight's got to go somewhere. And then d5. Bishop's got to go to f5. And then take. I don't know. I'm going to try it. I feel that this, I don't know, something about this that feels a little too straightforward. Like, and definitely this pawn structure is ideal. So to change it to this, it's not a great feeling. But the nice thing is if I win the e-pawn, then the d-pawn, or the f-pawn or the b-pawn will fall afterwards. So even though I might also be handing over the b2 pawn, feels like it'll be worth it. My rooks are, like, all my pieces are on some strange squares. Also, a6 is going to hit this bishop. I might need to put it on a4. So I'm not fully confident in this, but I'm going to stick with it. Knight c4, d5. The knight's staying high in here, but d5 is powerful. Bishop needs to move. So going for a very, I guess, forcing line here. Funny enough, this rook on a5 is not half bad. Like if our rook was on a1 and we did this same line, then I don't know, I'd probably lose confidence because here, knight takes, and like the pawns would be awful. So the rook feels like it's low-key doing something. But I don't think this calculation is so plain and simple. You take the white pieces here. Yeah, it feels like black has more questions to answer. And the more dangerous questions to answer. Like, if you don't play the right moves, maybe things go really wrong. I don't know. It feels like an engine or something would have a decent line for black to not be in too much trouble here. But it's probably very specific. Is this lecture uploaded in YouTube? Is this your way of saying I'm bro's yapping too much? We've got some threats here. Okay, yeah, this move looks pretty decent, especially because if we take, I don't think we can take that. If we take there, the knight's gonna take. So I need to move this. So we're gonna have to go there, and then maybe after this, we're kind of running into bishop c3. So this is what I meant when I was like, it just gets a little bit funky, but somehow I still believe in it. Even losing the exchange there, I actually am still a believer. So I think this is a we lose the exchange position, which I don't think I mind. And it's not even forced. We do have b4. Okay, so bishop takes here. Bishop c3. It'll definitely be an interesting position there. We have rook c5, so what's happening actually? We have rook c5. Oh, it's no problem. There is this with check, but then I'm going to be hit there, so I think we start with this. All right. Didn't even realize, yeah. Rook's coming to c5 now, so we should be totally fine. I was ready to play this position, assuming that we might even get this rook trapped, and then maybe pick up a piece or something, but it doesn't even look like we're going to have to deal with that because we have rook c5. All right, so this c4, d5, rook e7 thing for sure has worked out better. Like at this point, things have to be working out for me. Like if I don't end up in a good position from here, then it's my own fault. It's not the decision to play c4, d5. Like at this point, this has to be good. And it's always just that nice feeling when you have an escape square. You know, there would be some moves like knight takes d5 that might be really bothersome if we didn't have that. Obviously, the London is an opening where you make that escape square pretty early, so never really have to think about it again. Like, there's not really ever been a London position where I'm like worried about getting back rank mated. 98, it can be taken, so that definitely looks like what I'm going to do. Yeah. This bishop is pretty much irrelevant, and this knight is kind of in a bad square, but the fact that it can take this bishop means it can get rid of itself. But as soon as I put this bishop away, I think it's just a problem. And the e-file is not that useful for him, so we're just going to take this. Probably take this one, and then go back over and take this one. This should be pretty effective. We're hitting the knight. We've got now 3 extra pawns. As I said, we have an escape square, and rook e1 is not even a thing. So we have to have a good position here. Bishop c5 kind of, I don't know, just strikes me as a decent move, but same with this one. I like bishop c5 because I don't really want to allow him to play knight d6 or knight e7. Like if I go this way, g5, bishop e3, it's fine, but you know, the knight kind of activates. So I was thinking more of something like this, where it feels like that knight's no good, and maybe we can play bishop d4 next. Fair, okay. Didn't really consider this. Knight d4 is no good, but bishop d4 looks like something. Bishop d4. We do have to deal with this, but we have rook g7. So yeah, I think this is the move here. He might play this, honestly, and miss this. Seems actually fairly likely. Taking looks bad. Taking looks bad. This looks like, I don't know, some last ditch move. Maybe prompted by the time pressure. Oh, okay. Bishop b1. Interesting move. Definitely looks like a capture moment here. Definitely does not look like a good move. Yeah, we'll just take this. Yeah, I think this is this should be pretty lost here. Got two pieces for the obviously you got to go here. But yeah, I was gonna say we got still our 3 extra pawns. Now 2 pieces for the rook. By the way, we got 2 bishops for 1 rook there. So yeah, this is gonna be completely crushing. GG. Bishop d3. And yeah, there are many decent moves here. Rook a5, probably not one of the best ones, but interestingly, rook e8 sort of walked in. I thought it walked into everything. So let's have a look at this line. I don't know if it was good. The engine is really interested in h4, by the way. I probably should have played this. Look how strong h4 is. Like, you can't really play h5, and h4, h5 is super strong, and you can't move away. So rook f8, knight c7, knight takes b5, bishop d7. And yeah, in this position, the best line is something I would probably be tempted into if I saw this position in front of me, which is takes, rook takes, because just everything kind of falls apart here. Very double-edged, though. Black has the 2 bishops. It's just the pawns are completely falling apart. So supposedly white has a very small advantage there. But yeah, nothing is better than this h4 idea. Missed that. h4, h5 to just loosen up the position. And yes, for all the enjoyers here, rook takes e6 is a fantastic move. I still wouldn't say it's one of the, I wouldn't say it's the best move, but it's certainly a top 3 move in the position. Specifically following up with knight h4 and knight e4. But my issue is that the best case scenario is you're just like, this is the position. And to me, this doesn't look like a big achievement from the previous position. Like, all we did is like, yeah, I got the bishop pair, but it feels like black's pawns got a little bit better here. We have the bishop pair, but a little bit tough to use. So I see the vision, but h4, I don't know. This is an oversight. h4 is super strong. Knight f6, rook takes e6, says the engine, and rook e1, and just take. And just enjoy our nice position with some beautiful pieces. Great bishop on d3. Wow. Rook a5 is not a bad move, but h4, that's a good idea to put in there in the vault. In general, this was fine though. c4, d5. Yeah, this worked out. Not a bad game. Few misses in the middle there. What are they going to credit me with? 95.7. We'll take it. Round it up. Brazilian Monk, thanks for the gifted sub to Sphinxy. And Cube Master NM, thanks for the 30 months with Prime. Cheers, Cube. Travdoc. Jerome Gam video came up in the Rex. You trust this new speedrun? You've heard I mentions Jerome. Go Jerome. Reminds me of the message that I posted in our Discord. Got a message from Prince Jerome. He messaged me in 2022. Hello. Messaged once a year. He said he would like to share his fortune with me, Prince Jerome. And then he wants to get on a conference call to discuss that. So, go Jerome. It has to be the Jerome, the inventor of the opening. He wants to share his fortune with me for popularizing the opening. Must be. Back for Buddy. I like to hear that. Good planning, G Madrid. Good planning. Yeah, those are just privileges, R. Hudson. Grandmaster privileges. Lots of princes trying to share their fortunes. I am continuing the new speedrun Zoya. Am I doing it today? Most likely not, just because that's a Kick exclusive and we're starting a little bit early and then we're spending the day on puzzles. But I may well continue it. Certainly going to continue it next week, but maybe we'll even have some time on Sunday. But yeah, normally I would say we would be continuing these days, but we got other things on the docket. We got Buddy Pranov's puzzles. T-minus 2 hours. New speedruns like a Philidor setup. Kick exclusive. So if you want to check out that speedrun, it'll be still some months probably before it makes it on YouTube. Then that's the place to be. Well, it'll still take some time for it to finish PowerNet and then for it to be completely uploaded on YouTube, every episode. Yeah, it just takes months. Sometimes we upload like once a week. So it takes time to finish, takes time to edit, takes time to upload. Yeah, probably a couple months. There's also so many things that need to be uploaded that, it's not like we're sitting here just uploading that every single day, back to back to back to back. There's so many different kinds of videos, so it's not like it's just a non-stop upload. All right, we're back. Oh, same game? Question mark? Knight d7. So we definitely know that black is going for a setup with c5 or e5 here. That's what this move indicates. And it could still be either one. Like black could go for something like this or for something more like that. And I'm not really sure which setup it's going to be. So I'm going to start with a4, a move that feels like it's useful in all setups. And just kind of see what he wants to do. Maybe a5. Not sure how he'll respond to this, because if he wants to go for that's okay. So now we learn he wants to most likely go for e5. If he plays a setup like this, rook e8 is not. It's not the best. I mean, it's not a terrible move, but so it feels like this is the only thing that really makes sense. So let's go bishop e2. Bishop back to h2, castles. Most likely going to be our next moves. He can't really play e5 right now, so he kind of has to set it up. Yeah, I wonder if he's going to play a5 here. Because a lot of people, if they want to play this, then they don't really like playing b6 when a5 can be played. It just doesn't, I don't know, doesn't feel good. So a5 prevents that, and then they go b6 and bishop b7. Okay, he plays e5. I think this is a mistake, but maybe I'm missing something. Yeah, we just take and take because we have I don't think this is a move that you can play. So maybe this is some kind of sacrifice that we're about to become familiar with, but I thought you couldn't play e5 there, which is why sometimes black plays queen e8 in e5, but rook e8, I don't think this is a move. I mean, we're definitely about to see our opponent try to sack and make something happen here, but it definitely won't be good. I would say rook e8 slightly subpar, but definitely not a bad move. It can fit into other setups, but rook e8 and obviously e5 right away just can't be good. So bishop f5, or in general, knight d2 here runs into rook takes d2. I'm not sure if I've made this mistake before, but I've thought about making this mistake just about every time I'm in this position. Like just every single time. So I think I've managed to steer clear, but every time I'm here, I realize the possibility. Even though it doesn't make a lot of sense to give up the bishop pair, it is nice and solid to just kind of take knight d2, just go from there. Yes, we can develop with knight a3, but then if we castle, we allow rook d2, which, again, I'm not a big fan of. We can go bishop d4 to like close the d file and then play knight d2. I'm just trying to think like what's the best path forward here. In some ways, I actually like just giving up the bishop pair, mainly because this bishop doesn't look very effective against those pawns, and I actually think this knight, if you place knight e4, knight c5, that knight could do some damage to me. I can see a lot of worlds where this knight is a problem. So ideally, we don't just give up the bishop pair, but it is looking tempting. a5, rook a4, g4. You guys are suggesting some crazy type of moves. No way. Look at the position. We're up a pawn, and we're way behind in development. The guy's castled, rook on the open file. He's got two pieces out, another one coming. We got one bishop developed, another one maybe. We got to consolidate here. What's wrong with castling? Well, it's just more of a long-term thing. If I castle, I can't really play knight d2 next. I can't really play knight a3 because of rook d2. So I'm just not sure that my king wants out of the center because I kind of lose control of the d file a little bit. The other move I'm thinking of is maybe bishop f3 because it controls some of the squares the knight might want to jump to. And then from there, maybe then we could play our knight d2 move. But all the roads seem to lead to bishop takes here eventually, so I don't know. I might just end up doing it now. Bishop g3, knight e4, knight c5. I think we're getting killed there. Yeah, let's keep things nice and easy. Takes, knight d2. It's a relatively closed position, only one open file, so hopefully the bishops don't perform super well here. But there will be a lot of counterplay here. I wouldn't say this is the absolute best move, but it's definitely not bad. I know that for sure. But yeah, I was a little scared of the, I don't know, the knight just kind of running around doing damage to me there. Okay, we clearly need to move this knight again, or maybe long castle. I don't know. Risky, but I think we can see the vision. Yeah, long castle's not crazy. Knight f3 is kind of the simple move. But I am actually liking long castle as an idea. Knight e4, knight c5 is a decent aggressive idea, but if he's good, he's definitely going to play bishop e7. Not allow that. Bishop c4, there's a rook takes d2, so we don't like that. Yeah, I would say long castle here is very reasonable. Let's give it a try. So I think we actually want to play knight f3, and the only problem with that is bishop b3, but we can sort of take and go bishop d1 to cover us. There's definitely an opposite bishop position in our future here, but we will have an extra pawn in all of these lines. This pawn is a little bit kind of out there. Not my favorite, but bishop c4, still rook takes d2 all the time is very, very strong. And I think a move like knight f3 is our next one here. Also, king c2 is not crazy, but if I get checked, I will have to play e4, which doesn't seem like a big deal, but I'm personally not too happy to play it. I would like to leave my pawns more on dark squares if I can, because it just restricts the bishop. Imagine that I had pawns like this. It would be like almost a lost position. Just aesthetically, the dark squared bishop would be so strong. So yeah, if you're playing against the bishop pair and you have a bishop knight, general rule, pawns on the same color of the bishop you don't have. Okay, yeah, this move makes a lot of sense. I think we're sticking with our plan of knight f3, because if he goes bishop there, then I think we want to take and go bishop d1. I think that's the plan. And if he goes bishop here first, then I think we take and go bishop d1. Either way, the bishop ends up on d1 to cover this pawn. So I think we should be okay there. Now, bishop g4 is not a bad idea to trade the bishop. It would be fantastic if it was forced, but I think he's just going to play f5 and then king up, and we're just, feels like we're handing a couple useful tempi over to black for no reason. But yeah, if it was more of a forcing thing, absolutely. Any way I can trade these bishops, I'm very interested in. So yeah, we'll do our little bishop d1 idea here. This is kind of the whole justification for long castling and knight f3. Okay, does go back. We do have a knight d4 move. I don't know that we need to play it right away. Something like bishop c2 and rook d1 will probably be sufficient, but I don't mind knight d4. Ask him a few questions. Okay, let's see where he wants to put the bishop. Is he going to keep it here? Is he going to put it back? Bishop c8 looks like a fine move. But this is kind of a fake move. Like, we're just doing it, but we know we're going to end up moving back or something because he's going to play c5. So it's a very temporary move. I really just want to play bishop there. Okay, he goes back. I think that's nice. Not like a very big deal, but just something small. Let's go bishop b3. Looks like a very nice diagonal. Yes, this move is happening. We will have to move this knight probably back here. But then maybe at bishop c6, we might have knight e5, making use of this bishop on b3 now. One thing I think my opponent is getting closer to doing is trading this bishop for this knight to play opposite bishops, which, in fairness, do give great drawing opportunities. So, but I think we've very much solidified our extra material. So I think that's next on the agenda for him. Okay, he does go here, but I thought we had this. I guess there is bishop takes. And then bishop back to d5. Okay, so I mean, he can take. We're still going to have some chances in that endgame to play it, so we don't need to completely panic. But yeah, knight here, there. Just bishop f7, but that's not what you want to do. The only question is knight f7, but it doesn't look very good. So I think we probably need to let him take, actually. The rook trade does not look very good. So let's go here. Yeah, definitely not my favorite thing. I thought we had 95 there, but I definitely underestimated bishop takes g2. So turns out that this is a very good move. Okay, he goes here. I think it might be time for e4. Yeah, the one good thing about e4 is it does prevent that that bishop takes f3 move. So at least that's off the table for now. We got that one extra pawn. Maybe we're trying to play e4, e6, but I don't think so. Interestingly, I kind of like maybe bishop d5. Yep, he's playing well. Almost feel like inclined to go back just to keep things guarded. Knight d2, there's a bishop there, but now we're maybe getting ready to go rook d1. Try to get a trade. I don't know. e5 and then bishop e4. Definitely, if we trade these bishops, honestly, if we trade any piece at this point, I think we're kind of happy. It's just like fighting against the two bishops. There's always compensation. It's always annoying. We have this extra pawns. We know we're the ones that are better. But as I said, it's just not easy to play. Here, we're going to have to deal with that. Yeah, let's just go here. See what he wants to do. we want to trade these bishops. I can't really make it more clear than that, if possible. We have an extra pawn, so we should be the ones slightly better here. But yeah, if we can trade those, then I think we're in good shape. This is probably worth playing, worth attempting. I mean, he gets this, we get that, which actually feels like it might help the position. And he definitely can't or shouldn't take, I think. So, yeah, we're probably going to see that. Probably smart to just pre-move this. It'll only be possible on bishop takes a4. So, there we go. But yeah, the pawns are a little bit weaker here, and we kind of free our bishop from this defensive task. So I think that was smart. Bishop can return here. I think we go back, or we go here. Yeah, because I don't really believe in that. C4 check feels kind of fake. We just go here. C4. And at least bishop b3 if we take there. Okay. G3 probably needs to be played. It feels like we've done a pretty good job. Yeah, G3. We're trying. Trying to make way for maybe knight d5, but just probing around here. Don't have something that's like immediately winning or anything. Like I said, just lurking. King up to f3. Ooh, that looks like a mistake. That looks wrong. So I think we'll actually trade this bishop. It should, yeah, this should make things a lot easier. Oh, okay, we're even getting this. Now the game's over now. Yeah. We just have too many pass pawns. GG, Mr. Pride. Took a while to convert that. It's kind of it's funny because it feels like the opening was so misplayed. Like he really blundered on move 9, 8, right? E5 is just, this is just not a good move. But we're so far behind in development to win this pawn, and we have to, I mean, we didn't have to give up the bishop pair, but it felt like the safest thing for me to do. And it's just hard work. Like, it's just hard work. Like, we're barely better. Yeah, king d6 was his only like really, really bad move of the game. And now, yeah, he just allowed every piece trade all at once. So unfortunate. But I mean, we were better the whole game, but I was never sure we were winning. And you know what the engine shows? I didn't, for some reason, it just didn't occur to me this early because I was so focused on getting the knight out. But I wonder if you guys could spot what white should play here. I would say spotting this idea, it's not just a one mover, but which sequence of moves should white play here? Which is just immediately, as soon as you see them, you're going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's a pretty clear advantage. Like, all of a sudden, the stress that, not stress, but the tough battle I had to endure to try to extract the full point is no more. A5, A6 is, I mean, A5 is, we know it's not going to be a terrible move, but to me, it's just the wrong idea. We have like development issues to solve. As I said, it's not bad, but I feel like it's down the wrong path. Knight D2 actually loses. C4, I don't think we ever want to open this bishop up. M Unchained, I think it was you who suggested it earlier, but package that a little differently. Bishop C7, I don't really see what's happening after that. Whether the rook goes here or here. It's not a bad move, but I don't particularly like it. Yeah, thank you, M Unchained. M Unchained with the correct answer. Bishop takes knight, and now bishop g4. And it's the only position where it couldn't be refused. Because as soon as it happened in the game, the bishop moved. And once the bishop moved, there was always f5, which would prevent the exchange. But here, you can't do nothing about it. You have to exchange. And white achieves the number one plan in the position when you're playing against the bishop pair. Trade the bishops that are on the same color that are left on the board. That's always the best plan. And black can't refute it. Like, man, there's no f5. That's right, M Unchained. Yeah, you suggested it in the game, but at least when I read your message, I was pretty sure you had suggested it here. At least that's when I read it. So yeah, if you suggested earlier, good stuff. But I read it here, and then I was like reminding you, bishop g4, f5. But definitely just takes in bishop g4. You have the right thinking cap on, M Unchained, for bishop g4 there. That's exactly the plan that we should have been executing. So I think immediately is just like nice and obvious, nice and simple. But even here you could do it. It's still a little bit worse just having the bishop there. As you can see, this is still going to be very effective. But for example, bishop d5 already is a problem because there's a new diagonal that the bishop can have. So I don't even feel like it's the same thing here. Because yeah, you can play e4, but then, I don't know, I'm dealing with rook e8. This is not correct. So it really needs to be only on this move, bishop g4 now. And then as soon as this happens, it's not quite available. And then as soon as this happens, it's definitely not available. So I think it's very specific. It has to be bishop takes knight and bishop g4 immediately before this bishop has another diagonal that it can use. So interesting. Yeah, just a very, very direct approach. Because yeah, now it's nice and easy. We just put our king up, knight. We have knight against bishop. This is infinitely easier than what the heck I was up to the entire game. Like, we managed to get the win, but god damn, we had to work. Well, pistachio. I mean, I'm up a pawn, right? So giving up the bishop pair to get the bishop pair is just a trade. Then we just traded 2 pieces. Any trades when you're up a pawn, it's very good, right? So doesn't that make sense? It definitely is. Kanye West lover. You do not want to be playing e4. No, it's not terrible, but I don't know what you're doing here. Bishop f3 probably. First of all, you're not getting the trade you wanted, so then your whole idea of bishop g4 was pointless. And yeah, black can just save the bishop, and you've committed e4. So now this bishop just has access to some new diagonals that it didn't have before. Pawn is much stronger on e3. Yeah, I wouldn't say bishop g5 wins a pawn, only because of king d1, but I see what you're talking about. It just looks annoying. Yeah, I definitely don't want to be in this position, put it that way. No, Paul. e5 was a stone cold blunder. Just a bad move. Weaves, thanks for the 8 months. King Frankel, thanks for the sub during that long grind of a game. 89 months. Thank you, King. Yeah, very nice, M Unchained. Happy to see the bishop g4 consideration. Following the simple rules. Would have been better than what I did. I wasn't thinking of the basics. Thanks, Weaves, for the prime. King Frankel, 89. God damn. 7 years and change. Good morning, Sandy. In about an hour, we'll be heading to kick and getting set up with Buddy Pranav for our puzzles stream. The Puzzle Championship. We'll just do our hourly check to see if this wants to connect. Nope. Can't see the standings, can't see the bracket. Sorry, gate kept. But we are competing against Liam Putnam. I think anyone in the competition right now can pretty much score 60 if they have not already. But yeah, everyone is scoring regular the mid 50s, sometimes high 50s, and can perhaps clock a 60. So pretty serious stuff. Young Anthony is also in the competition. He's against Yosef, who also maintains like 3K ratings everywhere. So Anthony and Buddy Pranav are both in there. Let's see who's out here. Okay. I'll probably play a different opening here. But we got the same opponent, but he played a different opening. Okay, there's no way he has a main opening and then also can play another pre-main opening very well. 2300 rapid. I'd be very impressed if he knows 2 main moves very well. Most people don't, I would say, at that rating. One Swishin, thanks for the 4 years. You're not even that good at the first one. Yeah, I hear that. That's why I'm like, there's no way that this guy's just like jack of all trades, the GOAT. In about an hour, Empyrean. It'll be on Kick. Yo, what's cracking, Zen? Bishop d6. Let's go back. Play every opening. Don't know the name of the moves. I play, and I certainly know a lot of openings, but I don't know the name of them. So very common for people in the chat to know the names of openings, and I'm like just clueless. Tim is a very good example. Tim Cannon is a big name knower. Like here, for example, I don't know. I will definitely be impressed if he's aware of what I would say is the top move to play in this position, and even the variations that ensue after that. Just because, like, when I played d4 against him, he went for a fianchetto. So to know like a deep variation in this main line, and for your primary opening to be a King's Indian, would honestly just be very impressive. So I don't know. We just played e4. Like, I feel like if you're facing this position with black, are you playing like this? I think this is very unintuitive. But if you happen to know the position, of course, you just like, you just memorize it. Like it's a move. You're just like, okay, this is what we do. But like I said, his main opening against d4 was a King's Indian. So if he knows a full King's Indian repertoire against d4 for 2300 rapid, and he also has like pretty deep main lines in this opening, down pat as well, then just hats off to him. But like I said, I'll be surprised. Also, this guy really got rinsed by the matchmaking, eh? We played a game, and then instead of rematching, I just like, I was reviewing the game, chatting a little bit, and then I was like, oh, let me jump back in the pool. And then we got matched again. And somehow he got the black pieces again. Yeah, it doesn't quite set up for the Greek gift M Unchained, because remember, with the queen and bishop here covering the g5 square, this stuff only works if you can follow up with a knight g5 and a queen h5, but there's no knight g5, so it wouldn't quite be the idea. But don't give up on that vision. It doesn't work just now, but don't give up on it. Be on the lookout. So he plays the move that I think is the absolute most natural, right? I'm playing e4, I'm threatening e5. Absolutely take that, right? Get it the hell out of there. Yeah, we're hitting this bishop. Both of these captures deal with the immediate threat. So I feel like this and this is how most people choose to play. Very, very normal. But as I said, his main opening was the King's Indian. Why do I keep mentioning that? I don't know. I'll be very impressed if he is able to rattle off this variation that we're in, like rattle it off successfully, because I think this is something that a regular d4, d5 player would know, because you have to. Like at that point, that's your main opening. You got to know the ins and outs, especially if you don't know a certain line, you'll just be in big trouble, especially maybe at this level. But I think this is not his main opening. I think this is like a trauma response to the last game. So I'm wondering how well he knows this stuff. So far, as you can tell by the speed of my moves, this is something that I know pretty well. But yeah, I've definitely had this exact position many, many times. So once again, curious what moves he's going to come up with. Rook d1 looks pretty normal here. And again, like this move, walking into this, that it looks like you just lose, right? Like that doesn't look normal. Also, this one, this move, it also feels like you just lose there. I mean, you see what I mean? We I knew this game was gonna be a fucking disaster. He does not play this opening. I could just tell. Like, I just knew. I wasn't getting the right vibes from this one. He was traumatized by the last L. Yeah, I just knew it wasn't. Something wasn't adding up here. Poor guy. He wants a rematch. All right. I got to give him the white pieces out of respect. I feel bad. I definitely wouldn't normally play like 2-3 games against a single opponent, but we happened to get him again in the pool, and now I feel bad. We just rinsed him for the white pieces twice in a row. D4. Play knight f6. Bro said, let me see what the fuck I'm supposed to play against it. You show me, motherfucker. There's no way he plays this. I'm willing to bet. I don't know his opening repertoire, but I don't think he plays this. I think this is a trauma response. He wants to figure out how to play against it. I mean, so many lines, honestly. All right, I'll go d5. So I'm trying to think. He could be a bishop f4 player. He definitely could. It could be his regular opening. I could go out on a limb, though, and say that I don't think that it is. And if that's the case, maybe we want to choose a variation that's a little specific. I'll play just e6. I'm not going to play any crazy lines here. Yeah, it goes knight f3. So the first question is he a bishop g3 guy? So he is. So you guys will probably know from watching me play this line. I played the knight there, and I allow this. And I think that's the way to play. So first of all, he plays knight back, which I think is a good line for us, because now I'm going to get to play this. And one of the main reasons I choose that knight move is so that on this annoying, in my opinion, annoying line, you can play bishop takes, and you haven't wasted a move going back. But now I'm going to play this. I'm curious how he's going to respond, because it makes no sense to take. In fact, I'm sure he's not going to. But I've done things in a specific order here where I think it's possible that he's not necessarily expecting what's happening. Again, I'm willing to bet that he doesn't play the London as his main stuff. Okay, let's play knight d7 now. Because if you know a thing or two about the London, you know that right now I have control over e5, and I am about to play e5. So you will also know that white has a bad position. So this should already be, I mean, it's London, so he's not going to be in a losing position. But as far as Londons go, this is definitely a unsuccessful one. And I chose this line because I was suspecting once again that, oh yeah, okay, he's playing bishop e2 instead of bishop d3, so you already know that this guy's not a London player. I think he was doing it to try to figure out what line to play against it. So now what will happen is we'll rematch. I'll play the London and he's going to play this line. But then I'll play it properly. And after he loses the match 100-0, he'll finally know the full variations with both colors to make a draw. But it'll take him a while. He's going to learn one move per game. I think we want to go here next. Yeah, that's the thing. After, if I'm up 100-0 and then we make a draw, he might even gain rating on the match. That's learning the London course for free. The goat, the goat. I think it's time for e5 here. It looks like he's maybe preparing a long castle, but yeah, we'll definitely play e5. Well, you know it can't be the French Brazilian monk because that's an opening against e4, and you can see the e pawn is on e3, so definitely not the French. Our opponent played the London here. Yeah, bishop takes, pawn takes is I don't know, a little bit of a fake threat. Like h6 always takes care of that. We can go back bishop d6 if we don't want to open the h file, but I don't think I have a particular problem with that. Takes, even 94 straight away. The thing is, he can always castle kingside there as well, so we don't need to. I don't think we need to lose our minds right away. But for example, h6, I think would mostly be a good move. But yeah, we definitely want to take this bishop, I think. Takes and like rook e8 or h6 or something. One of these two moves. We're covered for now, so I'm not too concerned. I just want to see where the king's going to go. He could go and long castle here, so I would just like to learn what move he's going to do. Kind of affects my next moves. Turner chess, thanks for the prime. And just because we have a position which I would say is a decent one because of the opening, doesn't mean that you're just like winning or anything. It just means I feel like we got a good opening. Probably h6. Could have played it instead of rook e8. I'm thinking like maybe for being super objective that might have been the safest move. Okay, and he does go there. I think we will play h6 now because clearly there's going to be some sort of h-file business. which is why I was thinking that h6 may have been better, because, for example, if I played h6 and he castled, would I have played rook e8? Maybe not. Maybe I would put it on d8, or maybe I would just do a different move. So I felt like h6 may have been the more universal move, and rook e8 was a bit more specific. Rook e8's not a terrible move, so I don't think it's a big problem, but if I'm being picky, probably h6 would be good in all positions, and rook e8 would be good in most positions. So I think starting with h6 would have been better. But I need to move this h-pawn before I do anything else. Bishop e6, I mean, maybe allows knight g5 for no reason. Knight e4, I'm like basically pinned to my own h-pawn, so I can't even like play knight takes f2. So I don't think anything makes sense until I play h6, which is kind of why I went for it there. a2 is loose, so maybe a couple moves like this with d4 could target a2 nicely. And then, yeah, obviously knight e4 and like bishop f5 look tempting, but I have to make sure we're taking care of our center here. And in general, a decent attacking move is often b5. You know, just going like straight for it, and if they take, then you get the b file. So that's what I mean when I say like, maybe this rook is like not the best placed. So we can't really go d4 because he can take that way. But d4 is looking a little bit tempting. I think we just want to play bishop e6 here. Maybe we start to get some ideas on that side of the board. What's he threatening here? g4, I'm always taking. f4 looks like nothing. Where's this knight going? I think he's more just stopping knight e4. So I'm going to say that we don't really care about that. Maybe he's like slowly trying to get something going, but yeah, I'm just going to develop. I don't think I really buy what he's selling there. I'm actually not sure what he's selling, honestly. Yeah, this is an example where I'm like, I kind of wish that rook wasn't there. Okay, he goes here. Queen a5 is like, a fake threat. Not really doing much there. We could go b5 and rook b8, which is definitely a bit more of an aggressive one. But already I feel like I'm interested in playing rook d8 or a move like that here. Could try that. Yeah, I think I'm going to play this move. Yeah, it's just kind of annoying to have put it on e8, but it's a good reminder about this h6 move. a6, b5, a little bit slow. I don't really think I need a6 to do that. If anything, maybe rook b8 in there, or queen a5 in there, or queen d7 in there. But a6 feels slow. Definitely not a bad move, but I'm hoping that we can do it differently. So we don't really have d4 here, so this is less about that. For me, it's more about getting off of the b5 square and maybe continuing like this. But I'm still undecided. Queen a5 also looks interesting, although knight b3 looks like a pretty good response. Yeah, maybe queen a5, knight b3, queen back to b6, and then a5, a4. I do like the idea of just running this pawn up the board. That looks like it could be successful. Obviously, in terms of a London, this hasn't been successful for white. But, okay. And here we can see the idea happening. g4, g5, as we mentioned. So he's basically got one, two, like he's going to have a serious threat in a couple moves. So we sort of need something before then. I don't really know if queen a5 is the one. Let's give it a go. I kind of like the idea of eyeballing that. And yeah, if knight b3, then I think we'll just take a step back. And I'm not sure the knight's very happy on b3. It kind of looks bad. Then maybe we could meet this with knight e4 in the future. I actually don't really know if we're making a threat, but d4 kind of looks like a threat. It looks like enough of a threat to care. And by the way, g4, g5, I don't really mind because I can take it and I'm okay. What I mind is rook h1 and then g5. Then there's a real problem there. So I have a couple moves, but the threats are coming. It's not. I wasted time here with rook e8, rook d8, so I can only blame myself for that. Okay, so he's fully committed. He's fully committed. I respect that. Because yeah, this one is about to happen. I guess we go here. Like, if I'm playing queen there, do I really have another path? I don't know that I do. Feels like we kind of just have to go here and see what happens. But you know, he has many ways to deal with this. So this isn't like a winning threat or anything. But at least it's forward progress, put it that way. It's something in the aggressive direction. And yeah, this is, again, why I should have just played h6, gone straight rook d8. Imagine I could have a position with just a full extra move. Opportunities missed. The other nice thing is this queen is hitting f5, so, you know, depending if he like goes for some sort of capture there later, I don't know, I can just see a world where bishop f5 is supported by the queen, which is nice. Okay, does go for this. Feels like letting him take here is just bad, so maybe we need to capture there ourselves. Kind of hard to say. Queen a4 doesn't really do much. Yeah, this feels like a moment we have to take. Interesting position. His attack is kind of the one that's crashing through. Maybe we have knight c3. Very risky, but it is possible. Oh, okay. Didn't really consider a move like that. That's fair. Fair play. Because, yeah, taking here is the much nicer pawn to take, but okay. I think we'll go like this, maybe to lock that rook out with a knight on b4. Just feels like the rook's kind of out of play then. And I shouldn't be getting mated. And so without that rook in the game, feeling a little bit more optimistic. What I meant was like, I was a little more bothered by maybe some like pawn take stuff and like going for mate, but I don't think that was realistic. I think he probably made the smart decision. Okay, so this is a tender square, but I'm trying to say that the rook is not part of the game. So, for example, take. Or we have this check as well. Still, the check doesn't feel like it works completely yet. Like, we have it, but Yeah, let's just go here, honestly. The rook is just out of the game. Not going to do anything too fancy. I'm threading queen g6 and maybe b5 or something. It just looks unpleasant. Yeah, I don't really see like a complete crush. Here it feels like kind of lets him off the hook. I kind of like queen d6 a bit better. I think he's got a sack for that. Yeah. GG. I think we were winning as soon as we played knight before. I don't think there's any coming back from that. Rook on a4 is so garbage here. And we probably missed a more like direct win, like winning material, but I wasn't in a rush because I knew that, I mean, this is an impossible position. After a6, it's like, yeah, it's just over. Yeah, b5 is obviously extremely good there, just wins material, but I just don't see the rush. So yeah, rook e8 I'm not happy with. I think h6 first was maybe a little bit better. But I know our position should be extremely good here. And we go d4, takes. We took the right pawn. This was the calculation I meant. Here I was planning on this, king b2, and I thought we had knight c3. Oh, wow. Actually, I didn't see the I didn't see the rook from h4 there. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I think I would have seen it if I showed up in this position. Like if he played king b2, I would have been like, oh, does this work? And I probably would have seen it. But I'm not gonna lie. When I calculated in my head, I didn't see that. So I thought knight c3 was just working here. But nevertheless, this pawn structure is holding back like so much firepower. Just the simple h6. So we were never really in any danger. Yeah, the engine says we didn't play the best moves every time, but we definitely had the edge for most of the game. And then here, knight d5, b4, splat. It's just game over after that. You can't really come back. The rook on a4 is not playing chess anymore. Well, you can continue to find yourself that way, Roch. TH Toaster, thanks for the 51. Nice to know that you have a goal in mind. We love a goal-oriented viewer and subscriber. Juan Swishin, thanks again for those 4 years together. On the dot, Turner Chess, thanks for the new Prime sub. Cheers, TH. And thanks a lot for the bits there, Polar Bear. Polar Bear ABC. It's the 960 stuff today. No, it starts next week. But yes, it would be in 4 minutes every Friday. A Kyo quantity sufficient. No, I think there's just one event. Maybe if it gains popularity, etc., I can see them splitting it into 2 and copying the format, but I doubt they would start that way. The way the announcement was worded was like it's just one. Pepperidge Farms remembers What was it? Paying to verify yourself or something? Like, what was it, like $5, $10? I can't remember. But it was definitely one of chess.com's funnier grabs. It was like, I think it was like it's like $5 or $10, and it was a way for the average person to kind of like really identify their account, like full verification, so that they could be held accountable for like cheating, etc. So that if you played in tournaments, they would sort of have your information. You're not just some sort of anonymous random account that gets banned. No one cares. It's like, okay, now we have your name, like your full info. If you want to mess around, you're potentially putting your reputation at stake. So GG's to our little mini match here against Pride Sin 15. We played 3 matches. I'm sure that if we played one more game and I played the London, he would play this same line. I'm almost sure of it. But that match will have to be for another day. R Hudson, do you have a paid chess.com account of any sort? I guess what I'm asking is maybe the Diamond account. I'm not sure if it would apply to other ones, but I imagine Diamond. The reason I'm asking, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, is I'm sure that there's going to be some integration with that. Like, obviously, it's Chessable is it's chess.com, so I'm sure that having one will soon benefit the other. Put it that way. Don't think so, illustrious. I think the first edition of that tournament is next week. Makes sense, because why would they host that? Why would they have the first edition of their freestyle chess event overlapping with their puzzle championship? That would be just terrible. Yeah, no, I don't think so, R Hudson. I think you'd have to go for the diamond for what I'm talking about. Which makes sense. Like, it would be a huge benefit to sort of be able to get one for at the platinum membership. But yeah, I don't know if and when that's going to be a thing, but it seems like something that would make sense. So you may not need to double dip potentially. Yeah, all title players will have diamond, and surely anyone in the puzzle championship now. Can you imagine, like, you're in the puzzle championship, you're not a title player, you don't have chess.com diamond, but you made it through all the qualifiers, and then you just like you can only play like one round of puzzle battle. It's like, shit, boys. Well, looks like I need to drop out. It's a good run. Don't have chess.com diamond, so looks like championship's yours, my friend. Some morning rapid. We actually played unintentionally a ton of rapid games, but it really didn't feel like it, because we played the same guy over and over. Our buddy Pride Sin 15. GG's to Mr. Sin, as opposed to Mr. Sins. That's a different guy. Famous plumber. That's right. I could have sworn he was an astronaut, but maybe I'm thinking of a different guy. I'm rapided out. I'm also wondering how this is the top game at the moment. Kind of strange. It's like they have a look at. It's almost like they have a boost on their account. You know, like when you're scrolling on Twitter or something, and for some reason you go like you see like a post and you're like, I don't really follow this dude. What the hell? But it's like some sort of sponsored or promoted post. And you're like, what is this garbage? For some reason, the top game on chess.com is like it's this one. I'm trying to understand what's going on here. How did these guys get top slot? Every other game is arranged by rating, high to low. But it's like these guys, like, it's like a sponsored post. What is this doing here? Why is this at the top? It's like blunders left, right, and center. There's like two 2600s. And then you've got two 3000s here battling in blitz and in bullet. So it feels like they may have paid to promote their game. Oh, this person's wondering, any single girls in the chess.com game chat? My man knows where they hang out. The chess.com game chat of Dimitri against WQWS. That's where they be hanging. Here, bishop here. Amazing. In this position, just sometimes you see an engine move and you're like, wow, that's completely destructive. Like rook d4 is just nonsense. Hello, Spenny Thompson. Spenny, are you preparing for some big puzzles energy? This will be an impressive comeback if it happens. Queen takes f4. Ooh, queen d8. What happens? I guess there's queen c1, yeah, queen c1. Big problem. Bishop b7 here. This is not an easy position. Not at all. I would say black's probably favored here. Crazy as that is. Queen c3, queen takes c2. Oh, c3 is a blunder, so that's the only one he can't do. But look, he's picking up every single pawn. Pick up that bishop and GG. Dang, what a comeback. Oh, nice. Spenny, you re-signed. What type of contract are we looking at here? Couple million over 2 years maybe, with a player option to be exercised. GMs are kind of good. Yeah, that was a crazy comeback. Knight takes e4. Yeah, knight takes e4 here. I guess knight takes e4. Rook takes. And then knight c3 would be the move. Hey, I'm excited for you, Spenny. Will you, will that beautiful personality get to shine in this role? Is this very much an on-camera or you know what I mean? Do you get to be Spenny in the job, or is it very much behind the scenes a little bit? Ah, very much on the scene. Fantastic. I believe that's a role you will excel in, sir. Go, Spenny. Check, raise, flops. Thank you for the 3 years. Thank you, check, raise, flops. Appreciate the 3. G'day, buddy. It's a kids sports org, so it has to be family friendly. Yeah, not full Spenny. That's right. Yeah, for all you soccer players out there, this is a great stretch. It's going to incorporate the lower body, the upper body. So you're just going to want to hop right on into your dryer. You kids probably got a dryer at home, right? Might have to tone it down a little bit. There's a guy in the chess.com game chat, and all he's doing is spamming. Fun fact, we can eat food from our mouth with the help of hands. That's the message he's deciding to bring to the big screen. That he wants people to know. Okay. Little Checky with a Tim comment. Man, playing online chess really, one thing it definitely does is it conditions me, because sometimes I'll look at a position like this and I'll be like, damn, I should play bishop here and take, because now I can't lose. Like, I can only win, you know? And it seems like maybe it's winning, but obviously trading away the bishop pair, is just giving black more drawing chances than they deserve. But my brain is like, oh, yeah, this is the smart thing to do. Whereas you're really supposed to maintain some accuracy. And look at how white has won this game much more easily by having the bishops on the board. So I know that I tend to make objectively more poor decisions because it's like I'm factoring in the clock or laziness, etc., into all these positions. And we shouldn't be. Oh, of course, they're Mr. Checky. In fact, I've probably been to more than I know that I've been to. All those haircuts. Are we kibitzing German Wizards? That's quite the name. I think there's only one here. Only one German here. I'm really... I just played a bunch of rapid chess, so I was chessed out. But we're about to hop over to kick and prepare for the arrival of Buddy Pranav. Bishop g4 is actually a tricky move because of queen takes g2. Wow. I was actually thinking queen takes g2 here. What? Okay. Good thing I didn't miss something. This is just completely game over. I guess he was going to take here. But to me, that looks completely winning. Instead, his idea was knight f5, which is also a decent move, but... Hey, buddy Ralph. Go kick and go, buddy. Eddie's looking for the stones. God, an addict through and through. Look at this guy. Skinner. Thanks for the 27 months. Appreciate it, Skinner. 901. Ralph, thank you for the 58 with Prime. Almost at 5 years, Ralph, buddy. Still been climbing, pal? I definitely haven't in a little while. Got to get back into it. My knee was just feeling... I think it's just feeling 32 years old, but it's feeling a little wonky, so I kind of have been off it for a little bit. Ooh, knight c5 is coming. This looks potentially like a problem here. Takes and long castle, I would do. Hey, happy birthday in advance, Mr. Toaster. Yeah, I'm telling you, it creeps up on you, doesn't it? No, Ralph. I will not become an elliptical, brah. I swear to you. Dang. Nice. Nice. It's amazing, eh? He's actually lost. He had to play rook e7, only move. Not only move where you're losing, but only move... yeah, so he's just mated by force. It's amazing. You think that white is the one about to deliver checkmate, but the GM finds a way. Go Grandmasters. Are you talking about those like New York City ones, little Jackie, like the very expensive monthly ones? I don't know if that's for me. Networking at the gym. I could see Mannered Monkey being interested in that. What do we mean by a private gym then? Oh, okay. So that would be considered a private gym. Got it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've never been one for the gym, but I have I have a gym in my building, so I feel like I gotta start using it. So maybe that's a good start. I'm just not really a gym bro. Like I'd rather do something. Like I'd rather do an activity like bouldering and then take care of the fitness health aspect that way. Exclamation mark gym, that's right. Mandarin Monkey, how did you break your toe if you don't leave your house? Did you just like have like a fourth degree stub? Like what are we? You just said you don't leave your house, but now you have a broken toe. What happened? It is Ivan. Yep. No daily chess goals. In fact, I did set one. I'm not going to lie. My goal was not to play a daily chess game this year. Oh, this is actually a real story. This is great. We got a real going to my car to get something, habit of locking the door behind you when you leave, wasn't wearing shoes, locked yourself out, had to jump your own fence. It's a tall fence. Must have landed awkwardly or landed on something. This sounds barefoot as well. Oh my God. This is a disaster. Ooh. Ooh. Foot hit a bolt on the fence. Nasty. And after that experience, you just decided, fuck it, like I'm not leaving the house. Honestly, I I could see that. That's a trauma response. Makes sense. I co-sign that behavior. Hey, tarnished. Good morning. Good morning. Was Rook C6 and 95 too much? I think I knew what you were talking about. Here, maybe, yeah. I don't think it is too much. I like it. Where would the queen go? Here? You're kind of dead. Takes 95. Because the queen has to guard this, but 95 also covers that. So where do you go, actually? Yeah, I don't know. At first glance, Lost Moose, that looks very winning. It was a nice game by White. Is this going to be the adoption? When did he... Wait, what? This is not showing all the games, right? Or he just put some games in between. It looks like they played earlier. So he won 1, 2, 3, 4, and then drew, and then now he won 4 again. Thank you for the visuals, Kurtz, and the very detailed story. I have a very clear image of a white male, barefoot, hopping a fence and breaking a toe and shouting some profanities. It's a satisfying image. Sorry to hear. Oof, that sounds brutal, dude. I would definitely be like not going outside after that. I'm not gonna lie. All right, guys, it is gonna be that time. With Buddy Pranav imminent, we need to make sure to get the red carpet ready on Kick. You know, we got to make sure that the drinks are poured and everything's in order for the arrival of Buddy Pranav. We're gonna get his cam set up probably in like 10 minutes or so, and then we're gonna host the Puzzle Championship Finals. So I am not competing, but we have a horse in the race. Buddy Pranav, very capable of winning the whole thing. He definitely is competitive with all the scores that other people are posting. You could argue there's a few people a little bit stronger than him, but he's very consistent. Last year, I think he made top 4. So it's a double elimination bracket. Should be very fun to follow. And we have our guy, Anthony Atanasov. Young Anthony, who is also in the final, which is awesome. Queen G3 is a knockout. So, yeah, we have two guys that we're rooting for. So I'll see you guys on Kick. 93. Good call, MM. Still lost here, but definitely a good call. Honestly, is there a reason why bishop takes e3 wasn't played? Because you have to take with a pawn, right? And then surely that looks a little bit worse. Maybe bishop takes and then takes. Yeah, I feel like this looks like the best line. Anyway, see you guys on Kick. If you don't have an account, it's a good time to make one. I also have a speed run that I'm not sure I'll get to today, but I am only doing on Kick. So if you want to catch that one, !Kick, make an account, drop us a follow. Would appreciate it a lot. I'm going to end the stream here. I'll see you guys on Kick in about 5 minutes. Should be fun today. Buddy Pranav's in the chat.